Hi, it's me again, and I've only gone and found one of those horror stories about TV licensing that I don't like. You know I don't like these. Let's go through it, let's unpick it and see what we can learn and what we can make of it. I found it in the Standard. This is the headline. Homeless Londoner convicted over unpaid TV licence while caring for disabled woman. They've thrown a lot at the wall there. Let's dig through it and we'll see what we can make of it, shall we? Whether I'm going to be really angry or not. Only time will tell. Stay tuned. A man who says he is homeless has been convicted of not paying for a TV licence while volunteering as a live-in carer for a partially sighted disabled woman. The 48-year-old man says he offered to put his name forward to deal with official business while staying with his sick friend at her home in Barking. While a TV licence inspector came to the property in February, he disclosed that the homeowner is disabled, partially sighted and bedbound. Now, regular viewers will know that I'm about to be set off. And it's talking to them. You know, even if you pay for the TV licence and something's gone wrong and one knocks on your door, don't talk to them because you're just going to get in the shit. If you're like me, you're playing a straight game, you genuinely, legally don't require a television licence and one comes knocking, don't talk to them. If you're not paying it just without talking to them or you've forgotten whatever and one knocks on your door, do not talk to them. No good will come from talking to them. They're just door-to-door salesmen. You don't have to talk to them. I haven't even read ahead yet, and I know that this story wouldn't exist if he didn't talk to them. But let's carry on. In a letter to the court after facing prosecution, he reveals his own financial struggles, his efforts to care for his friend, and offered a suggestion that she could have been entitled to a free discounted licence. Yeah, there is two questions there, isn't there? One, why, if he's homeless and he's just helping out, staying a little bit as a carer, is he being prosecuted? It's not his property, it's hers. Maybe he's taking one for the team for that reason. We don't know. And the other one is, if she is got a proper disability with sight, the TV licensing website here says, look, do I qualify for a 50% blind concession? So a blind concession costs half price, blah, blah, blah. You can provide us one of the copies of these documents to confirm you. So you've got to be certified as severely sight impaired. And there's certain things. So the NHS will happily provide you with any of those details if you do qualify, which I think is taking the piss. Even if you're fully black blind, you see fuck all, you still only get 50% off a TV licence. But you don't need a TV licence for radio. And if you're fully black blind, it's basically radio you're listening to. They are taking the Michael TV licensing. But anyway, that's not what this discussion is about. I am the carer for the person who lives at the address, he wrote. At the time she was in hospital because she is disabled with a rare autoimmune disease and has been for a while. She is housebound, partially sighted and sleeps 4 days out of the week. There's a lot being thrown at the wall here, isn't there? You don't live at... Why are you being prosecuted if you didn't live at that address? Maybe, yeah, because he's staying there. He's taking that one for the team, for her. I don't know. But why were you talking to the TV licensing for? It's none of their business. Hello, who are you? Hello, I am from TV licensing. It shows on my database. Let me just stop you there, sir. No thanks. Bye-bye. And you close the door. It couldn't be easier than that. And this situation couldn't possibly arise. It's not possible. He said she struggles to get up to answer the door or telephone, so I put the TV licence in my name. So are you just staying there temporarily to help out, or are you there permanently? Which one is it? Why you put the TV licence in your name, but then you've not paid the TV? It's confusing, isn't it? I am actually homeless and got no fixed address, so getting a fine for a TV licence seems strange, she added. Well, not really. Not if you put the television licence in your name and then stop paying it and then talk to the goon when he comes to the door. I've got no problem with you stopping paying it. I haven't paid one for over 10 years now. That's fine. I implore people to not pay the TV licence fee. Don't talk to these people when they come to the door. I was in the process of contacting TV licence about a discount for her, or to not to pay because she's got a disability about blah, blah, blah. She always had a licence. I made a payment, then got muddled up with things. trying to get the licence lowered. So you're a volunteer carer, you've moved in, now you're only there temporarily, she had a TV licence in her name, you've moved it to your name. It's a confusing situation. I mean, that's not germane to the problem here, is it, obviously, but I'm just interested. The man was prosecuted by TV licence in the single justice procedure in a hearing earlier this month, which took place in private, as they do. A magistrate decided to give the man a 6-month conditional discharge, together with an order to pay £60 of costs and a £26 victim surcharge. He also now has a criminal conviction for not paying the TV licence fee. This whole story, to be fair, is a mess. But the whole situation with TV licensing is just a massive mess, isn't it? We've got to get the narrative out there to stop talking to these people when they're knocking the door. They try and pretend, regular viewers will know, that there is something important. They call themselves enforcement officers. They dress in an authoritative manner, and they try and pass themselves off as bailiffs or someone with some kind of power. They say we can, well, I've got a letter here, I guarantee in this letter here it says we can interview you under caution and all of that. To try and sound like there's something important. They are door-to-door salesmen, and no matter what your situation is with television licensing, never, ever talk to these people, ever. Anyway, the government says it is considering reforming the single justice procedure after a string of scandals, yes, that I've talked about on here. It is scandalous the way they're dealing with TV licence. Not the fact that there's TV licence prosecutions anyway is scandalous, but the way they're dealing with them is even worse with this single justice procedure. It's a joke. The BBC responded to that consultation by objecting to the idea that prosecutors, like TV licensing, should read mitigating letters before a case goes to court. TV, it'll be in here somewhere. I haven't read all of this. I read it together with you for the first time, so we'll react the same way. Right? But I guarantee in here it will say, a TV licensing spokesperson said that prosecutions are a last resort and they need to be in the public interest or something like that. I haven't read ahead. I'm going to read ahead. Where are we? The record shows he did not know the details of the TV licence expiry and told the agent up front that he is the carer for his friend who is bedbound. It doesn't matter. Single justice procedure continues to operate in courts. A TV licensing spokesperson said TV licensing's primary aim is to support customers to help them get licensed, not to see if they require a television licence, to help them get licensed. So TV licensing's primary aim, for me, who doesn't watch anything as it's been broadcast or access BBC iPlayer, but their primary aim for me is to help me get licensed. Don't need one, mate. Oh, yeah. Sorry, I went off a bit. Prosecution is always a last resort, and we have a duty to enforce the law when there is evidence that someone has watched television without a licence. All prosecutions brought by TV licensing are subject to evidential and public interest tests. So, do you believe that this prosecution would be in the public interest? I don't. I'm not a lawyer. Go speak to Black Belt Barrister if you want the legal term. But I don't believe it would be in the public interest at all. Prosecution is always a last resort. How's that work then? You could have just sold him a licence on the doorstep, which they probably did. They do tend to do that. They'll sign him re-up for a licence at the doorstep so they can get their commission, and then they'll file prosecution proceedings, which gets them another commission. Double your money if you're a TV licence goon in something like this. How is it a last resort if this has happened? Do not talk to these people. It says there, we have a duty to enforce when there is evidence that somebody has watched television without a licence. Where did they get that evidence from? I ask you. I know where it is. Not detective vans. It's not looking through the window. It's by talking to that gentleman on the doorstep. If that gentleman had said, no thanks mate, and shut the door, there is no evidence that someone has watched television. Now, I'm not saying you should be watching stuff. You know I don't say that. Do not watch or record anything that's been broadcast or access BBC iPlayer if you do not have a valid television licence. You know I say that. But how would they know he was doing that? He told them or let them in. If he went, no thanks mate, shut the door, this story wouldn't exist. It's not the worst of the stories I've heard. I've heard some scandalous stories that we've talked about on this channel. It's not the worst one, but it still shouldn't exist nonetheless, should it? Didn't set me off as bad as I thought, this one. Some of the stories really do set me off, don't they? Just the takeaway from this is, if you're speaking to somebody about a television licence, just don't talk to the goons. That's the only thing they need to know, is don't talk to the goons. Nothing bad can happen. What do you think? I mean, I have, over 10 years, I haven't had a licence for. And if one knocked on my door, do you think they'll accept that, or they'll try and stitch me up, or try and come into my property to examine my equipment, who are misses? What do you think they would do? They're going to push for it, aren't they? They will not accept that I legally don't require one. So why would I waste my time talking to them? No good will come from it. No thank you, mate. Shut the door. Let me know your thoughts on this one down in the comments below. If you want to read the whole article, there's always a link in the description. You can go read it if you want. Yeah, let me know your thoughts. While you're down there, leaving your comment, hit all the buttons and everything as well. Because if you do all that, hopefully I'll get to see you in another video again soon, won't I? Ta-da.